This is Kathy, Crowder's Mountain. Now we're back for episode 4, I believe it is. And you see the peace sign picture here. And here's what we're going to talk about today. So this will be a real short video. But I wanted to kind of tell you where you could go to get some patterns and a little bit about how to choose your pattern. Of course, you're going to choose something that catches your eye, or something you think somebody else is going to like if you're painting it for them. Of course, you're going to do that. But think about where that barn quilt is going to hang. If it's going to hang close to, like if you're going to put it on your porch or a shed, it's sort of low to the ground, I guess you could say, you could choose a busier pattern. But if you're going to hang it up on a high barn and you've got a really busy pattern, that pattern's just going to get lost up there. So think about that when you're looking at what barn quilt you want. Here's a couple examples. And I'm not going to talk about this long. But say, for example, if you were going to do a compass. Can you see that? If you're going to do that compass, you could do it anywhere. High on a mountain. You'd probably still see it and tell it's a compass. This cow that I did, you could see the cow, but you're going to lose your little bee. So you may want to think about it. Okay, well, I like the cow. I'm going to make the cow. So you're going to have to make that bee a little bigger if it's going to hang high up on the barn. But now look at this Lone Star. You see how busy that pattern is? If you put that high up on the barn, it's going to get lost with all those colors. Now, you could still do that pattern, but maybe instead of the gray blocks, you would do it white or black. Something that would pull out that star. You may be able to pull it off. But just think about that. This peace sign, you could make it as big as you wanted to, and you could still tell it's a peace sign when you got it up real high. Or as small as you wanted it. I just think it'd be really hard to make a 1x1 out of that. But it's your art. You do it if you want to. Now, here's some of the places that I've gone to and that I've found out while I've been painting barn quilts. And you guys may know of some other places. And if you do, let me know, because I'd like to know myself. But where I started finding my patterns was on Pinterest. I just would Google barn quilts, and eBay, Pinterest, and a couple other places would pop up. And so I would look at them and get an idea of what I thought I'd want to paint, and I'd snap a screenshot of it and then try to figure out the pattern. But then I found there's some Facebook groups, and 2 of them that are my favorites so far are Barn Quilt International, and these are groups of 30,000 people, so there's lots of people on there that are willing to share their patterns. You can find answers to a lot of your questions on there, but just be mindful, some folks have been at this for a long time, while others haven't been at it for as long as other people have. And what's working for them may not work for you. So just be mindful of that when you're reading the comments. But you can ask questions on there. So anyway, Barn Quilt International and Barn Quilt Addicts. So there's 2 other places. And then you also, you can go to YouTube. I started, actually before Pinterest, I Googled it. Didn't Google it. I went to YouTube because someone told me about a YouTube video. And I may have shared this with you guys before, but I don't remember. This guy is 94 years old, and he lives up in the mountains of North Carolina, up near Blue Ridge somewhere, Blue Ridge Mountain. He was 94, so I think he may be about 98 now, I'm not sure. But he started painting barn quilts when he was 90. He had retired from being a dentist, and I saw that video, and it just, I don't know, it just clicked in my head. I was retiring at the same time, so it just clicked in my mind that maybe I could do that. But a friend of mine had mentioned it to me first. She sent me the video and said, hey, why don't you try this? And so there, you can go to look that up. If you just in YouTube just say 94-year-old and barn quilts, and it'll probably pull it up, and you could listen at him. And he's got beautiful barn quilts that he's made. But anyway, YouTube is another place, like me, what I'm doing. I'm giving you patterns, and other people do that too. And just your friends and your family, other barn quilt classes you can go to, and a lot of times that instructor will share other patterns with you. I know I always did. And then the people in the class will share, if they've taken classes before, they'll share with you as well. You can go to, these craft shows. A lot of people set up at craft shows, and you can look at those patterns, but you can also purchase the barn quilts there too. And barn quilt trails, a lot of counties and a lot of states have what they call barn quilt trails. And you may call your Chamber of Commerce and just ask them if you have a barn quilt trail, or just Google Barn Quilt Trails USA, and I think some will pop up. I've never done that before, but I think I might. I think it'd be fun, especially in the fall of the year when the leaves are turning. Okay, now let's talk about books. This one happens to be my favorite. I found it on Amazon. It has 5,500 quilt block designs, and it's by Maggie Malone, Malone, and you can find that on Amazon. Now, what I like about it, it has all these patterns. It has a directory, index in the back. If you're looking for a particular pattern, you can look it up back there. Or if you're just looking to be inspired, you can find. I have to live to be 150. I'll just put it that way, to get all the quilt blocks painted that I've found in here, and I just keep finding more too. A lot of the patterns that I show you guys how to paint, I found in here. But in addition to the 5,500 patterns in here, you have all kinds of other shapes and sizes. There's borders that you can come up with. Isn't that a beautiful border for a quilt? Gotta do that one. But I mean, there's all kinds. If you're looking for an animal, like there's a cat and an alligator. A lot of people say, do you have an owl pattern or a squirrel? Somebody was looking for a squirrel one day, and I looked in here and I found it. So, there's the alphabet. So there's a lot of different uses for this book. Now, there's other books out there. This particular one doesn't have patterns, but that's what I think I like about it too, is I like figuring out the pattern myself and how to draw it. That's part of the fun for me. But now, if you didn't like doing that, it has these grids here to show you how to draw a grid. But there's other folks who sell books they have the pattern and they have it gridded out. And I've seen one book that has other color choices that gives you some good ideas of your color palette. So that's good to have. You might could go to your library. They may actually have quilt block patterns. A book about quilts and quilt blocks, and you may even get some inspiration from that. And you could just snap a picture of the ones that you find that you like, or just check the book out. And then, your friends have books that you could borrow, probably, I'm sure. But anyway, just wanted to tell you about those resources are out there. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. And if you have any other questions about patterns, just let me know. And our next session in this how-to series is going to be how to draw your patterns on your board. So our board is going to start getting filled up. I've put on all of my starts of the videos, I'm putting it like that so you'll know it's one of those how-to videos, but the board's going to start getting filled up now because we're going to start drawing this pattern a little bit at a time. I'll see y'all in the next video.